I gotta put my hands up, y'all. I gotta put my hands up. I gotta put my hands up, gang. I gotta put my hands up, gang. What's going on with y'all boys, man? I know y'all seen the old intro there. We still working on fixing all the intros, but it's your boy Mikey with the new and improved Stateside Reds, the largest Man United podcast, collective group, whatever, in the land being the United States of America. And I'm putting my hands up, guys. I'm putting my hands up, and I am coming clean, and I'm coming to tell you guys that y'all were right. Y'all were right. There's no defending it anymore. There's no trying to make excuses. There's none of it. Andre Onana is not good enough for Manchester United. Andre Onana is not a good keeper. I have been leading the Onana Defense League for too long. And for a long time, I feel like he didn't get a lot of grace coming into the game as he should have gotten. As the new keeper, a lot of backing. But from minute one, it's been an issue. If you remember, he played, I want to say one of the first matches I seen him in was in a preseason versus Real Madrid. And he got beat so bad on a goal. I'm like, it's kind of weird. It's kind of strange. But the guy can have big moments, but then he has some of the most bonehead moments that you will ever see. And I just want to make it clear. I wanted to back this guy because I knew what he meant for the position as far as people that look like him playing the position. I've even in our group here, I've been accosted with guys talking about, oh, why are black goalkeepers so bad and da. So I wanted that not to be a thing to say. I wanted him to prove it wrong in some weird way. I wanted him to be like, stick it to him one time. And I thought coming in, I saw, let me just say this first. I wanted Davaraya first. But then when I heard we were getting Onana, it was right before the Champions League, his Champions League final versus City, with Inter Milan. And I saw how well he played that game, how he masterfully passed the ball. And I think he mesmerized all of us. And all of us were just like, hey, the game has to change. And, we need a guy that's good with his feet and blah, blah, blah. And people just bigging up Onana. And I was one of them. But I wanted Raya first. But when Raya didn't happen, we saw this game with Onana. I was excited, especially for what it meant for the position. But there just comes a time, and I'm going to circle back to De Gea in a second, but there comes a time where you have to tell the truth, right? And you have to call it like it is. I'm not going to say call it because that's a bad thing, but you got to call it like it is. And he's just not good enough. He's just not good enough. For every good save I feel like Onana makes to keep us in a game, there's one equally bad one. He almost took us out the game. He really almost took us out of a game in a time where we really need it. We're playing Ipswich. Let's get to the Ipswich game right now. Playing Ipswich. And Dorgu's okay, so let me just go ahead and put this out here clear. Dorgu has that ball under control. So Dorgu at this point should be able to either lay it off to the man next to him, which had a man closing in on him, pass it to the next man, switch it, take control of it and switch it, which is hard to do going away from it because he's running in the opposite direction. Or the simplest thing that should have happened was Onana kick back, stand back, hang back. I'll feed you the back pass, and you spray the ball to the man on the right side of the pitch because he's by himself. Now we could start something from the opposite end. We have a man that's already committed on this end, and maybe I can sprint up forward and get something going with the man that's followed me on my left-hand side. Dorgu, instead, he takes away Dorgu's space. He probably calls for it, runs up to it, takes away Dorgu's space, and Dorgu foolishly passes it to him still. Now, Dorgu's 20 years old. He is 20 years old in a new team. Onana's a senior professional. A senior professional that's played in Champions League finals. What are we talking about here? Now, Dorgu takes about 10% of the blame there for not just making an executive decision on his own. and playing it out and just living with it. That was the worst possible thing that could happen, was it resulted into a goal. So let me just say that there and start there. That was the worst possible thing that can happen. But Onana has to be able to make the better decision then. I just feel like his decision making is just so bad. He has a problem with long shots. His positioning could just be so terrible at times. There's times when he gets beat and it hits him in his legs and he just goes under. It's crazy. I can't defend this no more, bro. I cannot defend it. Okay? There's times where you got unjustly criticized and you didn't get grace when it was given 100%. But you're causing way too many issues. This is, now let me circle back to the De Gea dispute. Because I was the person that said, right? I said, De Gea who? I said that. You can see. Look, I'm going to try to edit it in here. I'm going to put it right here. I said, De Gea who? But I said that in front of thousands of people. And he made me look foolish. You made me look foolish. But here's the discrepancy with De Gea in his last 2 seasons was shite. He was terrible. He was terrible in the last 2 seasons. And people like, I remember listening to the show last night. I was like, oh, well, he didn't lead to so many that, bro, he missed a penalty. He missed a penalty kick that he didn't even look confident for us to win a European title. Missed that. Okay. And gave the ball to City and we lost the FA Cup behind it. So it was a slew of other things, bro. De Gea was so bad. Mandem was talking about bringing in Dean Henderson. Remember the Dean Henderson saga? Play Henderson. That was something that people were saying a lot when De Gea was suffering. A lot. And then when he started just letting goals and leaking in goals, like he did a madness against Everton one time. Leaking in near post goals going in between his legs. His legs crossed up, crisscross applesauce, ball going in between his legs, pause, and he just standing there holding on the near post. He was terrible, but De Gea gave us so many moments that people can't let go of that, right? They can't let go of it. It's okay if you give us these moments and then you're having a rough patch of form and you get back to it. But you were trending downward. You were on 350 or so odd. It was time to go at the time. But 2 things can be true. 2 things can be true, y'all. I know y'all don't like hearing that. David De Gea had to go at the time, and Onana is not the replacement. I wanted him to be the replacement, but Onana is not the replacement we needed for David De Gea. Why cannot that be possible for you people? Y'all are nostalgia merchants. Every second, I always have to hear at this club, and it's tiring now, is, oh, well, Fergie would have. Well, Roy Keane would have. Well, Van der Sar would have. Bruh, those days are gone. David De Gea had to go. He was a wonderful servant to the club. He had to go. He's tearing it up right now in the Italian league. If he comes back and he's on another run of form, and God bless him, but he had to go at the moment. It wasn't what it is. But what Onana's not doing is the distribution that he was giving us that we were praising him for. We're not getting that. We're not getting the distribution. We're not getting the shot stopping. And now we're getting you making bonehead decisions on casual plays with the ball. What are you doing? Listen, you got to tell the truth sometimes, gang. You got to tell the truth, man. And it's just not, it is what it is. It is what it is. He has to go. I'm about this club more than I might like a player. I might like what a player stands for, like Marcus Rashford. I might like what a player stands for as to his position and the rarity of his position. But when you're not doing well, you're not doing well. And that's what I'm able to say and come on and say, yo, I was wrong about this guy. Y'all don't do that. Y'all don't do that at all. See, y'all will not give up this David De Gea debate. He was bad. That's why we let him go. We didn't let him go because the money was too much. We let him go because he was bad, and we're calling for it. Ten Hag seen it. Ten Hag was screaming at him. Like, bro, what are you doing? He had to go. But his replacement isn't much better. So we have to go look in another direction. Simple as. Simple as. Um, yeah, man, I was wrong. I said I wanted to back you, bro. And I don't know if you'll ever see this, but I wanted to back you, bro. I think it's just Bayandier's time. Give Bayandier a run of games. I know he's hurt. He was hurt. He's come back from injury now. Give Bayandier a run of games. Give him a run of games. If that don't work, Heaton. Put Heaton in, and we'll just ride out from there. But Onana, you cannot. You had your time. You've had a lot of chances with different managers now to show us your quality. And for every 4 or 5 games that you have a solid one, you have one of these. This was a disgrace. Shout out to Jaden Philogene, a young man I rate highly, going after the ball and give. See, that's what you do. You go after lost causes because you never know. Shit can happen. And look what happened. Miscommunication. Now you're on the end of a first goal that opened up the game. I like Jaden Philogene. I liked him in the England Youngers. And I thought that was a player we should have went after. He ended up going to Aston Villa. And I think they might have, that's how Ipswich have him on loan. Great player. Great young player. He's going to be a player. But look at him. 2 goals. The second fucking goal. You have to know that the player might get a touch on it, but you need to be covering that ball. Is it bad defense from the 2 big men? Yes, terrible. But the Lapis Day has 10 goals in the Prem. He's sneaky. He could get there. You have to anticipate that. Get down and save that. What's going on? Now, that's a little harder for me. The first goal was evident. That just blatant mistake. And the second goal was like, come on, man. Come on, man. And thank God we found set pieces out of nowhere. Thank God we found a set piece. Bruno can put a ball in from time to time and figure it out. We play Ipswich, guys. This wasn't top 4, top 6, top 10 opposition. No one higher up in Europa. This wasn't none of that. This isn't any of that, gang. None of it. But Onana, you almost cost us that game. Like you've cost us games in the past. You've made some big saves for us. I remember Coventry, you made that save. You made one in the Champions League. We won a game off that. You made some good saves in big top 4 games. You know, Arsenal, you made a couple good ones. I remember Liverpool, but that's not going to cut it when every 4 or 3 games you have a mistake like this. We're not getting the precision passing that we wanted. Granted, we're not set up for you to be pinging the ball like that. We're not, because we're pass it forward and then win it on the second ball. We're not pass it directly for a man or pass it through the defense and start there. That's not what we do. We pass and try to win on the second. But that I'm not making no excuses for you no more, bro. I'm sorry. But one other thing I want to say about this fan base is that there's nothing wrong with backing a player that comes into a new situation. There's nothing wrong with that. And I've oftentimes found that what you guys are doing is y'all, with your infinite wisdom, you already know that he's going to be shit. I'm not opening myself up to that kind of criticism. I don't want to be proven wrong in that regard. I want you I want to say, hey, you're going to be great. You're going to be a great player. And then you go the opposite way. Not me go against you as a player. No, I want to back people that come into this club. I will back you once you come into this club. I wasn't high on Mason Mount. But what did I say in that same video that I said with Onana? I said, I'm going to back him. I'm not going to write him off. Now he hasn't played a game since. Hopefully he'll come back and be great. I don't know. We're a toxic fan base. That's just what it is. But I had to apologize. And we look ahead to the weekend, bro. And it is what it is. 3 points. I'll take the 3 points and we move. The South got something to say, man. I know you see the United fan zone. Who can I get my hand to get the point at it? Yeah, there you go. The United. Oh, can I get it closer? Oh, I messed up. Yeah. United Fan Zone's banner right there. We ain't United Fan Zone no more. It's stateside red. I'm going to fix that. But until next time, man, the South got something to say. It's Big Mikey the General representing Atlanta and the MUFC. I would say ATL MUFC, but there's two of them, and I represent both of them. You know what I'm saying? So until next time, up the fucking Reds. Keep the faith. And Onana, bro, you got to go, my dog.
You don't have future. You can never make it.